up, guys? I'm Chill Pill, and welcome back to another episode of Black Sheep Reviews. So, Ratter Tatter and I have had Banjo here for about 3 months, and he is just the most adorable pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie. Taking care of him, having a full-time job, and making content for this channel can be pretty stressful, but the little guy is totally worth it. Scientifically proven fact that dogs are the best pet ever. Undisputable. And since dogs are just so awesome, and everyone knows it, I thought it would be appropriate to do a review on a game that stars our canine companions this month. But which one to do? There's D-Dog from MGS5, best partner in the game. Snickering Butt Munch from Duck Hunt. We got Parappa, he's pretty cool. Then you have the cult classic Okami. This game is one of the more obscure, beloved Capcom IPs they haven't done much with in recent years, unless you count the lackluster DS title or Marvel vs. Capcom 3 cameo, but I've never played it before. But it seems right up my alley since I like the Zelda series so much, and the art style just looks so cool. Oh, and you can pee on stuff for prizes.
What's going on in
so
here?
There's a
Are you doing a review on Okami without me?
I mean, that's how I usually do it. But,
no, this is not okay.
Okay.
You're taking this.
Okay.
This is my favorite game of all time, and
right.
It's my birthday month, so I'm commandeering this review. Hey guys, it's Ratter Tatter, blah blah blah. Let's start that damn theme song.
I'm here too.
No.
Oh.
When I think of a classic tale of heroism, I'm instantly reminded of the likes of Frodo Baggins, Luke Skywalker, and Al Gore. A hero on a mission to save the world from the evil turds out there trying to ruin things for the rest of us. Not so much a wolf and her sarcastic cricket of a sidekick who isn't exactly what I'd call pure of heart, but this is exactly the tale we have been presented with in Okami.
Truly, the goodest of doggos. Ami is a wolf imbued by the spirit of the sun goddess of creation Amaterasu, who is given the mighty task of saving all of Nippon from the evil that has enveloped it. Again. See, Ami actually already locked away the evil 8-headed monster Orochi with the help of Nagi 100 years ago, but this shadowy dummy right here released the creature upon the world once again. Yay!
After meeting Sakuya, the guardian spirit of Nippon, whom we lovingly refer to as Peach Butt, and your new pervy but sassy friend Isun, you set off on your heroic adventure, earning back your celestial brush techniques and sacred weapons from 100 years ago along the way. And, of course, dealing with the drunken, self-important mess Susanoo, the descendant of Nagi, who is constantly showing up to give a monologue about his ancestry and how he's the best warrior in all of Nippon, just to have you do all the work, then steal all the glory for himself. Somehow I can't help but feel like this is exactly what went down 100 years ago with good old Grandpappy 2.
Now, we can't really discuss the plot of Okami without mentioning the fact that this game is absolutely inundated with traditional Japanese folklore. Your character, Ami, is the mythological sun goddess of all creation. Isun here is the traveling artist from the story of Isun Boshi, or the One-Inch Boy. Heck, even Peach Butt is, quite possibly, based off the Japanese kami Konohana Sakuyuhime, the blossom goddess whom is responsible for preventing Mount Fuji from erupting and keeping the Japanese people safe. And that's just the first 3 characters you meet in the game.
There are so many characters, items, and events in Okami that make direct reference to Japanese folklore that if I were to list them all here, it would likely take all day. Not even exaggerating. So instead, I recommend you visit your local library. Just kidding. Check out Gaijin Goomba's trilogy of videos on this very topic if you are interested in just how deep this game gets into Japanese folklore. Seriously, it's like the developers were trying to drown you in traditional Japanese culture. You put in the disc and Capcom be like,
BAM! Japan up in your face.
The vast majority of the plot is presented to you through the use of unskippable cutscenes, complete with incredibly slow text, which you are unable to progress any faster, but you just have to sit through until they finish their lines. These cutscenes can really drag on for way too long, especially after a boss fight, and tend to drive my instant gratification addicted brain to the brink of insanity. But Isun's humorous, sarcastic banter always brings me back from the edge.
Isun is Ami's voice when you interact with any characters in Okami, cause in a land of mythological creatures and gods, a talking dog would just be ridiculous. Wait, how come they can talk? Effectively melding the two together in my mind to where they are essentially just one entity instead of two individuals.
Hey, we should give him a celebrity couple name. Isami?
Amaterasu.
It's a work in progress. The unique aesthetic chosen for Okami is quite simply perfection. The art is done entirely in a traditional Japanese watercolor style that beautifully complements the Japanese folklore-infused story and characters. From the sweeping landscapes of Shinshu Field and the Ryushima coast, to the little town of Kamiki Village and the bustling Seion City, you are fully immersed in a world of watercolor complete with treasures to dig up and baddies to chase. Every new area you enter is infected by a dense, evil fog which you need to cure by finding and growing one of Peachbutt's protective saplings, upon which there is an explosion of life and color that makes you feel like you truly deserve the title Goddess of Creation.
These gorgeous landscapes are far from empty, with a slew of animals to feed, boulders to slice in half, and an impressive variety of people inhabiting the land. There is plenty to see and do while you explore.
The ability to use Ami's celestial brush techniques in the world, and not just in combat, also helps bridge the gap between gameplay and art in a very organic way. Plus, I can blow shit up, and that's always cool. This all comes together to give you a sense of immersion that makes you feel like you are a real part of this world, and has actually started to bleed into my real life. You can do it. You can do it. Nope, I can't do it. It's just gonna make me cry. There's got to be a better way. Ooh! I know! Take that!
While the art is incredibly unique and immersive, it does suffer from time to time when Ami's animations aren't exactly fluid. But we can blame the janky animations on the Wii and PS2 system limitations. The game was later released as an HD port for the PS3, which is the version we played for the purpose of capturing video for this review, but sadly these animation issues were not fixed.
And while the graphics are visibly smoother and sharper in the HD remake, I actually prefer the fuzzier Wii version I originally played a few years back. But as an artist, I may be biased towards what feels more accurate to the medium of watercolor paintings than just shiny new crisp updated graphics. Although, the PS3 version does give you a much better look at Ami's butthole. Yup, they just had to be anatomically correct, with that of all things.
With a story and art style so heavily influenced by traditional Japanese culture, it only makes sense that the music would follow suit with a soundtrack that perfectly encapsulates the very essence of ancient Japanese tradition.
With hardcore dubstep, mother trucker.
No, but for real, they really stepped the Japanese overload up another notch. Produced using a live orchestra, the developers treated us to a score of Japanese-inspired music fit for the goddess of creation herself. And there is a lot of it.
When in a cursed area, there is an ominous haze. But once you grow that sapling, the music swells with the joyous release of positive energy and life. Large, sweeping landscapes get large, sweeping orchestrations that make you feel the vastness of nature's beauty. While battles are tense and inspire victory. Some characters even get their own theme songs, the lucky little buggers. Isun, of course, gets a twangy, bouncy little score. Susano gets a fumbling number that is quite appropriate for his mannerisms. And Miss Priestess Rao here gets a seductive sighing piece to complement her more appealing assets.
But even with all this variety, I just didn't find the soundtrack very memorable. I didn't necessarily remember the songs for their melodies, I remember them more for their more unique aspects. For example, I don't remember Isun's theme itself, I just remember the mouth harp that they used to give it the twangy sound.
As much as I love the detail the developers put into the music, I will admit this is not a soundtrack I would enjoy listening to on its own. I feel like the music is mainly meant as a support for the story and art, not as a memorable standalone aspect of the game as a whole.
Some people say that Okami is just another unoriginal Zelda clone and doesn't deserve the praise it gets, but this claim is just so off base it's ridiculous. I mean, come on, in Zelda you're constantly followed around by an annoying glowing companion that just won't stop talking. Well, yeah, but in Zelda, a tree spirit sends you on an epic quest to rid the land of evil. Huh. Well, I bet the Zelda series never let you play as a wolf? Oh, come on! Okay, yeah, those who say Okami is a Zelda clone are pretty on the money, but that doesn't make it a bad game by any means.
Progression is very rewarding in this game. By growing withered plant life, feeding wild animals, and completing tasks for the people of Nippon, Ami earns praise, which she uses to boost her stats. You're constantly finding stronger, not to mention cooler looking, weapons on your adventure, which actually changes the appearance of your character. And you relearn the 13 ancient celestial brush techniques that, in addition to helping you in battle, allow you to go back to previously visited areas of Nippon and access things you were unable to reach before, which would be incredibly useful from time to time for things like work, perhaps. Oh. Yeah, work.
Sure. Don't forget to mention the upgraded combat techniques you can learn. Let's not kid ourselves, you buy that ish. From the dojos scattered throughout Nippon to make your attacks more powerful.
Ooh, what about my favorite trick? Ha! Take that, you pisshead! See what I did there?
And what would an action-adventure game be without a plethora of helpless people that need you to do mundane tasks for some sort of trade-off?
A bad one, I guess?
Well, not to worry. Okami has incapable NPCs aplenty. The interactions with these characters are full of charm and can actually provide more information about Nippon and the details of your quests, deepening the sense of immersion.
But if there is one area where Okami might be lacking, it would definitely be the controls. It is pretty apparent this game was made in the PS2 Wii era. The movements of Ami are imprecise, causing issues in perilous sections. The camera has no clue what to do in tight quarters, making it impossible to see. And while the brush techniques are cool and unique, they can be unreliable at times. And perfect. Okay, now just for the hair. Wait a second. I know what I'm gonna do. That definitely could go better.
What I personally found to be the most irritating aspect of these outdated controls was how invisible walls seemed to be just everywhere. Like, there wasn't a single ledge or cliff that didn't come with an awkward translucent guardrail to make sure that little babby Ami didn't accidentally fall off or something. It really made the more precise platforming sections a real chore to deal with. That and not being able to sprint at full speed right away. I've never seen a game character run in such a way that looks like they physically have to shift gears to really get going. Okay, I'm done complaining. For now.
Yeah, there's no denying the level design can cause frustration, especially in those timed quests like the digging minigames or this bit running through the snowy forest. but those segments were pretty few and far between. I was able to have nice, long amounts of normal gameplay to enjoy before running into these issues again and being like, ugh, I forgot about this crap. Then deal with it for like maybe 2 minutes to get back to the hours of fun again. For a game made over a decade ago, this is really no big deal to me. Okami is a cult classic for a reason. I mean, look at these scores it received from established, respected reviewers in the community upon release. The art is top-notch, the story is as classic as they come, and the characters, even some of the less influential ones, are charming AF. How much more could you ask for? It's hard to believe the game didn't have more financial success and become its own independent franchise, but such is life.
We will admit, the game does have its downfalls, especially when it comes to its super long, unskippable cutscenes and the outdated controls, causing frustration in certain segments of the game, both of which pull you out of the immersion the developers had worked so hard to achieve in every other aspect of the game.
On that note, I will recommend if you do decide to give this game a go, please get the Wii version or use PlayStation Move for the PS3 HD remake. Trying to draw out the brush techniques using the joystick on the PS2 and PS3 just felt unnatural and janky. It became a bit of a hassle. But the motion controls feel so flowy, like you were actually painting on a piece of watercolor paper. It's just a better experience all around, trust me.
But, like any good Zelda game, once you played through Okami's story, you're done. There's not much else to see. Yeah, you could do New Game Plus and finish a couple more side quests, find a couple more collectibles, the usual, but once the story is done, there's not much reason to come back, as the story is one of the main reasons for playing the game in the first place.
In Okami, the traditional Japanese art, story, characters, music, really every creative aspect of the game, down to every little itsy bitsy tiny stinking detail, come together in a perfect symphony of amazing, unique gaming. This conglomeration of Japanese influence and fantastic storytelling makes it very easy to overlook some of its more obvious influences from Zelda, and makes for a must-play experience for everyone who calls themselves a gamer. Okami was actually the first game I ever finished by myself, and it's just as awesome today as it was back then, which is a relief because I was worried revisiting my favorite game of all time without my rose-colored glasses on would ruin the game for me.
I can really see why Okami received so much critical acclaim when it first came out, and why it has such a strong cult following. Even though it borrows heavily from a certain other franchise, it stands out among the sea of other clones.
While the gameplay didn't age all that well past the PS2 and Wii era, the attention to detail in the art, story, and characters more than make up for the gripes we had with the controls. That's why we give this game a rating of
Golden Fleece!
So until next time, this is Ratter Tatter reminding you, if you spill red wine on your white shirt, just pour the rest on it. Now you got a red shirt. See ya!
Alright, you did your thing. Go. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's all chill pill all the time.
No.
Remember me, folks? It's me. Go away. Go. Oh, you did the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, hurry. You gotta hurry up. It's all chill pill. You'll never get rid of me.
That right there is what happens when Ratter Tatter is in charge, baby! You like what you saw and want more? Well then give us one of those thumbs ups right there and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We've got more reviews and some Let's Plays to help you get your fill. Question for you. It's pretty obvious I love me some Ami, but what is your favorite video game pup? Let me know in the comments section below and we'll see you next time.